Hello everybody, and welcome back to some more Fury of Dracula. In this video I'm playing as Dracula, and my opponent today is Mr. Green, and this video is intended to it's part of the Analysing Every Move series, where I try to explain a lot more about what I'm doing on each turn, and the sort of decisions that I'm thinking of, and hopefully I can actually do that well, because I'm playing Dracula today, so I've only got one character to control, and hopefully I'll be able to give a lot of insight in terms of what I'm thinking every move I make. So, Mr. Green's done sort of normal, sort of classic setup here. What I want to try and do is maybe have 2 or 3 episodes in this series. Have one where I start at an extremity location, one where I start sort of centrally, and then one we'll just make up as we go along. We'll see. I think today I'm tempted to do a central location start. I'll do extremity another day, I think. The center of the map, the 2 lines of thinking here is if you start in an extremity location, you're making it more likely that your early encounters will mature, and you're dragging all of the hunters over to one side of the map. And if you play it well enough and you're able to not get caught, you can either wolf form past them to escape, or you then escape by sea. And the alternative is if you start somewhere in the center. The issue being starting in the center is it's less likely that the things, all your encounters are going to mature because there are hunters much closer to you. But then as they converge on your location, you can wolf form past them. Or maybe not even wolf form at all if you're Mr. Green. And then there's a lot more places where you can go. If you start in an extremity location, it's quite choreographed where you're going, whereas in the center of the map, because there's a lot more connections, it might be harder to pin you down. So it just depends on what's going on. Okay, so I think I'm going to start on sort of centrally today, and we'll see how that works out. I am going to start in. Let's start in Geneva. Geneva's a nice place to start because I can sort of hug along the French-Italian coast, or on my first turn I could head up into sort of towards Paris, Brussels, Strasbourg. I could wolf form before the hunters find me or after, it just depends. So maybe that might be another thing I might do in one of the videos. I might do the sort of highlight the sort of the teen wolf strategy that Quincy talks about quite a bit. But today I'm just going to play kind of like a little bit vanilla. No early wolf forms. I'll wait for them to converge and then wolf form, and then we'll see how that goes. So let's start in Geneva. Now the issue is with the digital edition of the game, you can't see your hand of encounters until you've placed your starting location. So we can look at that in a minute. I'll look at it later once all these supplies are done, because otherwise it's going to get very messy. Okay, right, evil presence. That's one reason why Dracula, you never start close to the hunters, because evil presence can pick you up. That's one reason why Seward starting in Madrid is really good, because that rules out the entirety of Spain. Now, if I wanted to, if I was closer to Spain, I could go into Spain, because the chance of getting another evil presence is unlikely, but it could happen. Another thing I need to do is keep track, as Dracula, you have to try and keep track of all the items that you see in the game that have been revealed and have been discarded. Obviously, nothing's been discarded right now, but Mina, because she automatically reveals, she has a stake and planned ambush. So automatically I know that she has these 2 things. So what I always do, I write them down. I've got a little book here where I write things down. There's nothing in the rules saying that you can't write down anything. Okay, so that's what I'm doing, and I'm trying to keep track, and if I see trades happening, I try to maybe predict where things are being traded to, but sometimes it's hard, sometimes you can't prevent these things, or sometimes you miss something. Okay, so now I can see my hand of encounter cards. I have a saboteur, mob, a vampire, and bodyguards. Now, again, there's 2 lines of thinking with Dracula. Do you put down a vampire early with a rumour token, in the anticipation that if the hunters don't find you from newspaper reports or by moving around or whatever, you're going to get those 7 points? Or, because the way that the hunters play in our Discord community meta, that they just stay in supply, you're very likely to be found in the first week. It's quite rare that newspaper reports is not drawn in the first week. So, do you put down other types of encounters, which if they mature, they still get a good mature effect, but then also then when the hunters find them, they're going to damage them and slow them down. So that's actually what I'm going to do today. I am going to put down lots of really annoying encounters at the beginning, and maybe just disperse some vampires throughout the trail, and not necessarily commit and say, right, it has to be a vampire first. Okay, I'm also not going to use my rumour tokens. I quite like the strategy of not putting down a rumour token first. There's nothing wrong with doing that, and when I was playing in competitive games, I'd often get a lot of points early if the hunters were not able to get to my starting vampire. But the issue is, if you put down a vampire first on the trail, and then it matures, yeah, great, you get 3, 4, or 7 points potentially if you've got rumour token on it, then the trail's wiped. The hunters now have nothing to deal with, and they just have to, and your location will be revealed as well, of where that vampire was, so they might have an idea of where you are. Whereas, if I just put down loads of annoying encounters that they have to deal with, then they have to choose, do they start going to try and deal with these bodyguards and mobs or whatever, or do they let them mature, and then the mature effect is really good. So, I'm going to put down a bodyguards first. I do like a bodyguard start first. If it matures, it's a really nice mature effect. They can just sit there and hunters often forget about it. And also, it doesn't wipe the trail, so it gives lots of room afterwards. I might put down the aristocratic vampire maybe second or third. The things with Dracula, don't have like a really fixated plan in your head of what you're going to do, because often it's going to change. So what I think I'm going to do is I might go to Marseille to drop this, and then start moving back northwards again. I think that's what I'm going to do. We'll see. So let's go down to Marseille. Often Marseille's not checked with a hired scout either, so that's why I'm kind of happy to do this. Geneva sometimes checks, so I might get found here, but... So let's put down one of these bodyguards, and I got a wolves. Okay. So yeah, as Dracula, don't come up with a really really fixed plan, like, right, today I'm going to put down this, then next time I'm going to put down this, then next time I'm going to put down this encounter, because often then, things are going to change. The hunters will find you, the hunters will move to a certain location that will block your original plan, so just go kind of like a day or two at a time. Don't have this really grand master plan. Oh yeah, I'm going to put bats here, push them into that, blah blah blah, because then it might not work that way. If it works, then great. But a lot of times you can't predict who's going to walk into what, which encounter is going to be revealed in what order. So don't get really fixated on a grand master plan. Just take it step by step, be adaptable. It also depends on, as I said, when the hunters find you, what sort of movement do they have. If you look in the discard pile for the items, this is like the most important thing for Dracula to check. If you see a certain item being discarded, like, it's not the case, but if I suddenly look and I find stakes in the discard pile, then you prioritize throwing down vampires. Because now the hunters are going to be forced into an awkward decision. Do they try to deal with this vampire with no stake, or do they let it mature? I had a game the other night where, I mean, I don't know if it was recorded actually, but I saw that the hunters discarded all of their stakes really early because they used up a couple, and a couple got discarded because they kept other items. So I just put down loads of vampires, and they couldn't deal with them. Okay, so I'm going to misdirect Geneva. The reason why misdirect is done here is so then if there is a newspaper reports on, what day would it be? Wednesday, it doesn't trigger. It won't reveal Geneva because it's been misdirected. And also, if they've got newspaper reports already and they wait for the 5th day to reveal them, or something gets onto the 5th space, it triggers 1 day later, because obviously there's a misdirect card there, not an actual location, so you can remain undetected for a little bit longer. Of course, the downside to that is now misdirect is stuck on the trail for a whole week, and if I want to try and misdirect later on a wolf form location or something, the location I wolf form from or something else, I can't do that. But I think, there's value of doing this, so we're just going to do this for today. Maybe in another video I might do it without misdirecting, just to show you what might happen. Okay. I think I'm going to go to Milan rather than Geneva. Geneva's often a place they're going to check. I know it's really close to Gadami and Mina, so whatever's going to be in this location is not going to mature, but that's absolutely fine. I'm not really stressed about it. I'm just going to try to be a pain in the neck, basically. There's loads of things I could do here. I could throw down the other bodyguards. I could throw down a saboteur, so then they're delayed. I can delay them at night, potentially. But I might say the Saboteur maybe one more turn, and maybe put it in Zurich. Mob's okay, but if Mob matures in Italy, it's not the best place. It'd be better if it matured in Germany. I don't want to throw down the second bodyguards just yet. I want to kind of separate them. I don't want him to know that I've used both bodyguards. So maybe I might just throw down, like, the Mob, perhaps, to do a bit of damage. Yeah, let's do this. And I got a fog. Amazing. Okay, so this is like one of the most powerful cards in the game, the fog. It can only be countered by forewarned. And it's just basically a big, pardon my swearing, but it's a big fuck you to the hunters. Like, nope, we're not. You're not getting me today. We're not having combat. So it's very useful. But obviously, if Behind the Veil comes out, the fog is just going to be almost always taken. Because of just how powerful it is. Especially that he sees that there's no vampires in my hand. Only one aristocratic. He might then think that there's already another vampire on the trail. Sister Agatha probably will ally here. I can't imagine he's going to search. Okay. He might search if there's a surprising return. But there currently isn't. Okay, Mina's still got the stake. First week, there's not really much you can do. I'm just going to lay down lots of annoying stuff. I'm tempted to maybe go from 60, maybe I might try and go to 41, and then go to 51. And by that time, they'll probably find me, so then I can wolf form from 51. And 51's quite a good wolf form location. There's quite a lot of places I could go to. We'll see. We'll see. Just the things with Dracula, just be adaptable. Don't really stress out too much. You're going to get found eventually, so it's about how you respond when you get found. There is a little bit of proactiveness built in, because if you think, the hunters might jump onto my space this turn, let's put down an encounter that I can defend myself with, like a vampire, or a fog, or something like a bodyguards or a mob. Don't put down an aristocratic vampire if you think they're going to jump on you that day. But this early on, not making these sort of decisions. The other thing to think about is the way the game works is there's so many different facets. You've got the deduction side of it. If the hunters are spending loads of time trying to work out where you are and where you're going, that's good for you. There's also then the movement game. If you realize that you can outrun the hunters in certain situations, then that's good. But often the hunters will outrun you. They'll go faster than you because they're going to have fast horses. So it's very, very difficult in a prolonged race to outrun them, unless you can trick them, or you can get them to lose their horses by using a vampiric influence, or by killing the hunter with a horse or something, or they start discarding horses. Okay, so far nothing really unusual here in the discard pile. You normally see pistols. A rifle normally is kept, but maybe they've prioritized a heavenly host or a horse or something like that. So I'm going to go to 60 is often a place that's checked, but to be honest, I'm just going to go to 60, and I'll just throw down the Saboteur, I think. Yeah. Oh, a Spy. I like Spy. I think Spy is a very, very underrated card. The other reason for holding onto my rumour tokens here is so then, instead of using one in the first week when maybe it's going to be cleared, what I can do is when I've weakened the hunters and delayed them a bit, then I can throw down maybe 2 rumour tokens in the second week. And I can space them, like, apart, so then if one matures with a vampire, then the other one is 4 spaces down the trail. And then the hunters are going to get really, hopefully, the idea, they're going to get really stressed out having to try and deal with 2 vampires. Especially if they're both fighter vampires. I don't have one right now, which is not ideal. I could also Dark Call, but I'm not a fan of Dark Call. Just because then you're stuck in place, and you're not moving. Dark Call would be good if the hunters get behind the veil. Because then I Dark Call, and then he has no idea what I've got in my hand anymore, because he only would have seen basically half of the stuff I've got, or even less than that. So, okay, no newspaper yet, so that's working for me. Okay, now it's time to get more discards. Nothing unusual, nothing of real note. I don't write down any of this stuff, but I just keep it in my head. Right, a couple of pistols have gone, a couple of rifles have gone, so I'm not going to prioritize trying to break guns in combat. It'll be more knives and heavenly hosts. But obviously there's a lot. There's 4 copies of each gun, and so there still could be guns kicking about. So, but basically the key thing is, as I was saying before, so you've got the deduction side, you've got the movement side, and the combat side. side of things, obviously we haven't got into combat yet, but if you can make the correct choices in combat, a lot depends. A lot of Dracula players come into it going, oh, I have to kill the hunters. Like, well, yes and no. It depends on the situation. Sometimes as Dracula, your objective is to get out of the combat. So then you prioritize things that will help you to get out of the combat. Other times you can be more aggressive. It all depends on how this game pans out. I don't know yet. Obviously, this is live recording, so I've got no idea how this game is going to go. And then the other side of things is resource management. That's the way I call it. So as Dracula, you don't have many resources. You've got your event cards, but unless the hunters do something really daft, they're not going to night supply, and you're not going to get hoax matures. So you've got your encounter cards. Those are Dracula resources, and you've also got your power cards as well. The most important one is wolf form, because of maybe hide to a certain extent as well. And a good misdirect. Obviously now misdirect's on the trail, so I can't use it. But the hunters have a lot of resources in terms of like their events, their items, but also I would put into that bracket time. They've only got so many actions. They've only got 2 actions each per day, and so on, and they've only got so many moves. Obviously, if they're moving during the day, they can't move at night. So the way I think about it is, as a hunter, from a hunter perspective, you want to be forced. You do if the hunters are on autopilot and they're not really making tough decisions, then that's bad for Dracula. Dracula wants the hunters to be stuck making really tough choices. Do I search this or heal? Do I move or supply? If they're having to make really tough decisions like that, depending on what's happened, that's good for Dracula. But if the hunters are just on autopilot, mopping up encounters very easily, that's not good. So you do everything in your power to disrupt the hunter's ability to supply, to get all these really good events and items, and making them, forced tough choices like, do I move this hunter here? Because if I move here, the hunter might die, depending on what the encounter is, but I need to do it anyway. That's what you want. Now, I've noticed a couple of things. Firstly, I hope that makes sense, by the way, what I've just said. The stake's now gone. I assume the stake has disappeared, and the way we can tell is we go into the deck. No, the stake hasn't been put into the discard pile. So what I think has happened is Godalming now has the stake. So I'm going to write that in my book. And Mina has fast horses. So Mina has a lot of movement. And what was the other thing? Probably not important. Oh yeah, they did a psychic scan. Now, it's possible that Mina and Godalming are going to move to 38 tomorrow to scan Germany. Now the question is, do I risk going to Germany, think they might do that, or do I think they're just going to supply? I'm going to take the risk and go to 41. And then I think I'm going to move to 51. I think. But I've got a lot of space in northern Germany to play with, so let's do this. Now, there's a few things I can put down here. I'm going to put down the spy. Now, the reason being is because it's a small city. The hunters have to choose, do they burn a weapon, or do they show everything and lose their tickets? And if they do decide to lose a weapon, they're going to have to waste time going to a big city to supply again. If they put a spy into a big city, they'll just stay in place and supply. But they're having to move and then supply and then move again, that they're wasting more actions. So I'm going to put down a spy now. I do really like spy. I know there's lots of big cities around, so it's not the best place to put spy, but I think I'll do it anyway. And then I might put down the vampire. I think that's a good choice. Well, I've got a reckless. I'm going to put down the aristocratic, not the reckless. I could use a rumour token here as a distraction, even though there are no vampires here. But I'm going to hold on to them for now. I'm a little bit predictable in this sense. I normally only use rumour tokens. But what I might do in the second week, I might put a rumour token on a vampire, and then put a second one on something else. And make them panic, but we'll see. Mr. Green, I don't think Mr. Green flaps very much, so we'll see how this works. Now, I feel really bad if Mina and Godalming move over to scan, but no, they're not. They're supplying. Perfect. Okay, so I'm taking advantage of meta. If I was playing against somebody who didn't know our meta, excuse me, then I might not be able to do that. Also, I forgot to say, apologies, I've got the camera on. Hi, this is what I look like. So hopefully that doesn't mean that the views are going to tank. If it looks like I'm looking down all the time, it's because I'm using the laptop webcam, and I'm having to look down at the screen, so the camera is not the same height, if that makes sense. So yeah, I'm not deliberately not looking at you guys because I'm looking at the screen. Okay, right, just keep supplying. That's all they're doing, and it makes sense. They want to get these. The items are a really important part for the hunters, but the events are the key thing. The events are the thing that really define how well you can play as the hunters. You are a little bit at mercy to the event deck. Ooh, okay, I'll check in a minute what they've discarded. Now, if I wanted to be really sneaky, I could go to 40 here. But I think I'm going to go to 21. I like the idea of going to 21, because then I can go up to the north coast, I could go down to 51, then wolf form from 51. I could then go 51, 24. I could go 51, probably not 42, because Sword will often move here. I could go to 9. There's a few things I can do. What's been discarded? Oh, you wax cylinders. Okay, so this is to try and counteract the hide trick, where you put an encounter and then a hide. But I haven't used the hide trick, so that's absolutely fine. Yeah, there's nothing in the discard pile that is very sort of really standing out. See, I don't like hide trick for that reason, because of wax cylinders, and also the reason why I don't like hide trick is because if you are discovered, your trail is one space shorter, so it's one fewer things for the hunters to deal with. There are advantages to the hide trick, but I'm just not. I'm not a big fan of it. Maybe one of the videos, or maybe I might do hide trick and just highlight to you maybe the power or the weakness of it, depending on how the game goes. Hide trick can be good because depending on what you put as the hide card, you might end up forcing 2 hunters onto that location rather than 1. So then you can sort of push them out of position a little bit. So there are advantages, that's for sure. But the thing is, I now know he has wax cylinders, so hiding is going to be not very effective unless I can cause problems for Seward, so Seward has to make choices at night. Do I use wax cylinders, or do I heal, or trade, or do other stuff? But if Seward's just sitting there at full health every time, there's no reason why he wouldn't use wax cylinders every single night. So it's basically making hide completely worthless at this point. Oh. Planned ambush has been traded because there's blood transfusion here. So I'm going to put planned ambush onto Van Helsing for now, and I hopefully will be able to catch it when it gets traded to somebody else, but I don't know. It all depends. Has Mina done her turn? No. Maybe he's having to decide between scanning or getting tickets. So I'm definitely going to go to 21. Okay, scanning. I'm going to go to 21 here, because I can also then go up to 30, so there's a few different options. I could also go up to 30 now, but I want to give myself the option to go up there later. I'm going to put down the vampire now. I want to try and get this aristocratic thing out of my hand, because it's getting a bit annoying. Oh, another saboteur. Now it's going to be interesting. Is a newspaper going to come out today? Because it should be revealed if there is, or if he just keeps supplying, that means there's no newspaper. So this bodyguards might actually mature, and that's really good for me. That'd be a great start. I mean, obviously it'd be better if it was a vampire, but then all of this stuff wouldn't be here. It depends on how you think about it. Oh, right, there's newspaper. Okay, so that makes it all completely academic then. Right, okay. Now, the good thing with Marseille, there's a lot of different directions I could have gone. He might move into Germany to Psychic Scan, but then I could wolf form after the Psychic Scan. Nope, he's moving down into Italy. So there's no risk of Psychic Scan, so I could even go to 30 if I wanted to today. I can maybe then try and wolf form east, or I hug the north coast for a bit. There's quite a few things I can do. I can wait for Van Helsing to come off the UK, and then I move to the UK, because it's left open for me. So I've got a few different options. Oh, especially if he's using excellent weather like that. Right, so I'm writing in my book, excellent weather is gone. I personally wouldn't use excellent weather like this. I know I said in one of the guide videos with Roscoe, oh, doesn't have a good economy. That's good to know. And I didn't go to Munich, so this is not going to reveal anything. Good. Very good. I know that I said in the video with Roscoe that maybe it suggests that you should use X and Weather here, but the reason why I actually think is actually not a good idea to use X and Weather is if Van Helsing uses X and Weather to come off the UK, is going to be really slow game back on. And in my opinion, when you've got 3 hunters already on the mainland, do you need Van Helsing here? No, I don't think so. He could just take 1 extra turn to come onto the mainland. And then you got the excellent weather in reserve, so then if you suddenly realise, oh shit, Dracula's gone to the UK, boom, excellent weather. And you can really catch Dracula out. But the fact that he's used it, there is another copy in the deck, but the fact he's used it makes me feel a little bit more comfortable about maybe going to sea. And trying to UK. And obviously UK is very risky because of consecrated ground. So what I think I'm going to do here, I'm going to go to 30, then 7, and if they have not detected me, I'm going to wolf form to 58, and then make my way eastward. Yeah. I think that's going to be the idea. Because the thing is, in this situation, Mina can only get to Strasbourg. She might actually check 41, which would be quite a good play. She could also check 21. I'm hoping she's just going to rail to 51 to maybe meet up with Van Helsing or Seward. Okay, there's a trade going on here. This might be the planned ambush. So the bodyguards aren't going to mature, but this is actually fine, because it's going to do 2 things. It's force Godalming all the way to Marseille, so they haven't been able to psychic scan, so that's good for me. And it's going to do damage to him, which is good for me. And it's going to hopefully reveal a weapon. And if he doesn't have a weapon, then he's delayed, which is even better. So let's go to 30. And then we'll take it from there. Bit by bit, day by day. What do I put down now? I think I shall put down maybe the other bodyguards? Yeah, I think the other bodyguards. The walls I'm going to save for a layer. I'm not going to use Fog, and I don't want to put down the Reckless right now. I might put the Reckless in Vienna once I've wolf formed. The thing is, it's very predictable wolf. If I'm going from 7, I'm going to be wolf forming to Vienna. It's not a very good... It's more for distance rather than for obfuscation. So maybe I put down the Reckless now. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, and force them to actually deal with it. Yeah, let's do it. Because what I hope will happen is they'll burn a stake on the aristocratic, and then they move into the reckless. Oh, you have what? Why are you using fast horses? You can just walk to Marseille. Oh, he's checking other locations. Oh, okay. So it looks like Seward or Van Helsing is going to deal with that. Ah, oh, you sneaky, sneaky hunter. Very good. Now, there's also a big risk here that if he goes to Marseille, I could already be like, let's say, Milan. I could be in 54 right now. I think Mina might end up checking 41 because it's very risky for him if I'm going around this way. But hopefully he doesn't. Maybe he only checks 51, and that'll be really handy for me. That'll buy me some time. But he's got horses, so I do have to be very respectful for this, that I could end up with 2 hunters catching me in the east very quickly. So maybe I don't. Maybe I hug the North German coast and try and wolf form my way past this direction towards Spain. That's what Mr. Green did to me in the reverse match, where he was Dracula and I was hunters. Okay, that's a right move. Going to Paris is good. You can supply from there. You're on a good rail connection. Right, let's see. Oh dear, Jesus, the economy's not well set up. Okay, okay. Right, okay, so they're all going to get hit. Delayed. Oh, wait, he has a stake. Okay, so we knew this, right? The stake got traded, so that's good to know. Nah, you're getting hit by mob, mate, sorry. Thing is, it's Godalming. He can tank this stuff. He doesn't heal as well as Seward can, but he's got a bigger health pool. Let's see what Seward has. Oh, he has a dogs. Oh, sorry, that doesn't help you. And you have a stake. Wow. He might not even have a weapon then. Okay, so I now know 3 of Seward's items. A steak, a dog's, and a knife. Now, see, now it means that it's highly unlikely these 2 vampires are going to mature, but I can buy myself a lot of time with them, hopefully. That they're going to have to commit to it. Or if a hunter ends up on them which doesn't have a stake, they're going to have to end up moving everything around. So yeah, I'm going to move... Do I move to 16? No, I'm going to go to 7. 7's safe. 1, 2... I mean, if what's his face? If Van Helsing jumps onto me, like, great. Hey, okay, she's delayed. Good stuff. Now, is that gonna... Got a weapon? Oh, no weapon. So that's going to stay on the trail, so that might mature then. So that works out for me. A roadblock is a roadblock. So let's do this. I could also move to... Oh shit, I didn't mean to say yes. I could have also gone to Hamburg. Oh, I've gone to 7 now. Never mind. Let's throw down the bodyguards in case Van Helsing jumps onto me. Yeah, I'll promote this to a layer. Oh well, that's an easy choice. I'm going to throw down the walls. Now, why do you throw things into layers? Layers are... Well, as a basic concept, layers are a way of getting all the weaker encounter cards out of your hand, so you're stocked up on all the good stuff. There is another thing you can do with layers, is that you can return to those locations, and the problem is, if it's a layer that was revealed when it slides off the trail like Marseille is, if I go back to Marseille later, and the layer is still active, it'll be revealed, so the hunters will know, Dracula's gone to Marseille, but I'll double up on the encounter. I'll have the wolves, which are there, and I'll be able to put another encounter card on top. And then it causes hunters some problems. Like, yeah, we know where he is, but do we want to walk onto a location which has 2 encounters? Maybe, maybe not. So let's just put the wolves here. And we shall... Do I put down a rumour token? I don't think so. They have stakes, so I'm not going to put down a rumour token when I know the thing is going to get staked. So let's do this without rumour tokens. I'm in a very safe position here because Mina is delayed. These 2 haven't got great movement, and even then, they're not going to get to me. So the only one who can get to me is Thingy, Van Helsing. Okay, so he might check Nuremberg. Oh, yep, there he goes. Very predictable, but that's a good move. He has to check and see if I'm in Germany or not. I could have also snuck back down, but in this situation, I might actually wolf form. I might now wolf form to 58. I could have 2 hunters jumping on me, though, so I do have to be a little bit wary of that. I don't really have good encounters. And things, once I've used the wolf form's gone. What? No, I'll just make you search that at night. Since Seward loses the next day action. That's good for me. Now, he might send Van Helsing round the top. That's something that could happen. No? Ooh, oh yeah, checking Strasbourg is good. I think now in retrospect I should have gone to 16, because I could have snuck around this way, but that's alright, it's fine. That's okay. Mistake? Nah, spy, mate. Sorry. And that's actually really good that Godalming got hit by this and not Seward, because Seward would be able to cancel this with the dogs. You discarded a weapon. Well, if that's the situation, I might just move to 44. There is a huge risk of consecrated ground. But, is he really going to move on to 44? If I could get to 58 and then wolf form, that would be really, really nice for me. Oh, Seward and Mina are trading. I mean, that makes a little bit of sense, a little bit of obfuscation now, because I don't know what items they've traded around. So that is probably quite clever. So in some ways, maybe I should have ambush Seward, so then they couldn't do the night trade. But, it's okay. I may end up getting this roadblock after all. So this is a big choice now. Because it means if I go to 44, I'm kind of committing to going east. Whereas if I go to Hamburg, it's a little bit safer. It's a little bit safer. I don't really know what the correct play is. How bad could 44 be? I could have 2 hunters jumping onto me. Godalming and either Sword or Mina, depending which one has fast horses. If they have like sense of emergency, 3 of them could get there. Right, 44 I think is really risky. It's one of these plays where if it works, it'd be great. But I think it's too risky. I don't want to get caught by 3 hunters potentially. This early. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, because you also could charter carriage to 44. Van Helsing could. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. So I'm not going to risk going to 44. It'd be great if it worked, but in some ways I wish I had gone to Hamburg last turn. And then now I could have done a choice to Wolfall maybe. Sorry, to 44 or westward. But I'll go to Hamburg now. Might be a little bit predictable, but okay. Oh, okay, that's quite cool. I could also try to trick him by wolf-forming to Hamburg and make him think that I've gone past him. So that's the issue. If you're going to use a power like that, then I'm basically committing that it's going to be on the trail for a whole week. If I then go to the UK, I'm not going to have wolf form, so I can't wolf form to safety, like to Manchester. And well, I mean, I might get blocked anyway. Do I trick him by wolf forming to Hamburg? I wish I was in 16 now, because I could wolf form all the way to 29. Ah. Tricky. Tricky choice. Where could I wolf form to? There's no, 7 is a bad wolf form location. There's only really 58. And yeah, because 16 is a rail connection. There's no road connection. So yeah, it's a really bad wolf form location. So I'd only be wolf forming to 27 to try to trick him, thinking that I've somehow wolf formed past him. What did I put here? Bodyguards. Nah, I'm just gonna go to Hamburg. And I'm actually gonna throw down the fog now, so I could trap him. So then he's not gonna leave to go to the UK as quickly. Yeah. Promote to a lair, yes. I will put down the wolves. Actually, no, I might put down the rats. Yeah, let's put down the rats. Oh, a vampire. That's good. So that's something I could do. I could go to the UK and throw down a vampire. See, now I look at the state of play, I wish I had been in 16, because then I could have wolf formed, yeah, to 29. But I didn't know that. I wasn't sure how the rule was actually going to move. Like, typical, I go to 16, then Van Helsing goes there. Hey, okay, so economy is awful. See? Look at that. I knew that was a risky spot to go to, because it's the worst case scenario, that if hunters do not check this, I could just go east and have I could do whatever I want over here. What they might do now is they might move everyone to Hamburg and psychic scan Germany, which would be a good play. If I wanted to, I could wolf form to 2. And then they wouldn't be sure, have I wolf formed out of Germany or stayed in Germany? Okay. I expect Mina to move to 38 here. Yeah, especially now she's rolled. God, his horse economy is absolutely terrible. I should really be trying to take advantage of this. Oh, what? You're not psychic scanning Germany. That's crazy. Do I move to 16? Maybe I move to 16. Maybe I play a little bit risky. The problem is Godalming could get there, but Godalming's not going to rail. He's surely going to move by horses. And even then, if he moves by horses, he can't get to 16. Can Seward get there? With a chartered carriage, yes. I don't think he's going to move there. He's going to probably move to like 30, right? Ooh, how risky do I play this? I could also wolf form to 2. And then try and move... Oof, I don't know how good this wolf form is going to be. Ah... I might wolf form to 2, you know. Where's the vampire? Here, right? Yes, I want to put out a new vampire, but I want to wait one more turn. Or maybe I just put it down already, actually. Yeah, you know what? I might actually just wolf form. Now, the thing is, the risk with this is Van Helsing might check Amsterdam, thinking that I've gone to Amsterdam and then wolf formed out of Amsterdam. But then he'll find me there. I might do it. I don't know how good it's going to be. But then I could, if they all then disperse, I could go 1651 and make my way down that way. That's the problem. Do I risk going to 16? Wolf forming from 16 is pretty good, because I could get as far as... Where could I get to? I could get to 29, 42, 51... I'm going to have this thing maturing. So the question is, where do I put the roadblock? Do I block Godalming from going to 7? Maybe. Do I risk going to 16? This is very risky. When you're playing as Dracula, you're always having to think about worst case scenario. If they jump onto you, how bad could it be? Obviously, all of them could get there theoretically. But I don't expect Godalming to go to 16. Seward could get there with a sense of emergency or chartered carriage, but then again, I don't expect him to be there either. Van Helsing could check it, and then if Van Helsing checks it, Mina could be there. So realistically, worst case scenario, 2v1. Do I want a 2v1 situation right now? I don't know. It's a very, very risky idea. The other problem is, if I wolf form and then they psychic scan and discover that I'm in Germany, like, what have I achieved? Very little. The thing is, if I leave to sea now, it's really obvious where I am. The good thing is, they've got 4 encounters to deal with. And I could block one of them. So maybe I just go for the safe option, I go to sea. I try and drag them to the UK. Yeah, I'm. Oh, whoa, yeah. I'm just gonna play it safe here. I think I've overstayed my welcome, and I don't want to get caught. I could make a really cool play here, but there's too many things that could go wrong. So let's just play safe, go to sea, and drag them to the UK, and then we take it from there. Yep. I know this is quite obvious that where I've left from. Promote to a lair. No, because I can use the roadblock. So I can put the roadblock here to block Godalming from going to 7. That stalls them for a turn longer. So this is quite choreographed, but if the hunters can't get to me, they can't kill me. That's kind of the way to think about it. You don't have to like be super tricksy. There's no Rufus Smith either, so me being here or going to sea is not as punishing. And now I've got wolf form available. So what I could, if I wanted to, I could go North Atlantic and then wolf form from North Atlantic. I think the issue with that... Oh, he's getting there. Damn. Does Seward have a stake? I think he does, so I'm gonna ambush him so I can get a little bit of damage down. What I hope has happened is that he's traded it to Mina. And then now he's running around with no stake. And now he's having to decide what he does here. It could also have planned ambush. No? Okay. Right, let's have a look. No, he still has the stake. He has the knife. That's all he has. He has nothing else. Okay, so what is the objective here? This vampire's going to die at night to a stake. So I just have to try and do damage to this guy. If I could get maybe a point of influence from the fangs, that would also be really good. But he has a knife. Well, I think he has a knife. That's the last information I had. There was a trade between Mina and Seward. Wow, that doesn't give me a lot of choices. So, I know it sounds weird, but I'm not going to fang him, because I think he might play the knife this turn. 2 damage is 2 damage. If I don't get the point, oh well, I can't stress about it. But I don't want to get my fangs cancelled. So let's just play claws. And then I can fang next turn if he plays knife now. Ah, crap. Okay, so now, you know, looking at that situation, I should have played fangs. But that's okay. He's going to do a point of damage to me, so he might try and knife me this turn. To kill me without using the stake, because then it's more advantageous not having to use a night action to search, and to stake the vampire he can heal instead. All these little actions are going to incrementally build up. Now, what I really hope is a mesmerized or a strength. Strength, cool. Okay, he might play knife here. I want to protect this vampire. Him wasting a night action to search is more valuable than me trying to get 1 point of influence. So let's play fangs. Oh, not play fangs. Play strength. If he escapes, good. Well played by him. Good. See? Right. So he tried to kill me straight up, but now I've done 2 extra damage to him. I can now fang him this turn. I'm going to fang now because there is no risk to me fanging. There's no other item that can kill me. He'll probably dodge this turn. If he escapes, that's great. I've got 2 fangs, so I can use 1. I can use mesmerize later on the knife. So this is perfect. I've already done 4 damage to him, which is normally more than you would expect. Okay, good dodge. Now I'm going to mesmerize him, because mesmerize would stop the escape, and it stops the knife. And they're both things I don't want to happen. I could try and fang him Fiendskin to escape, but no. I could also do claws to guarantee the damage, regardless of what he does. I could play claws next turn, if I wanted to. So let's play mesmerize. If he plays punch, that's very well done. Okay, fine. That works. Now the question is... Oh, now the good thing is now, because he's mesmerized, the knife will not kill me. It will not kill this vampire anymore. So now I can decide, do I fang him or do I claw him? I think I'll claw him. And if he does the knife on me, then he takes 2 damage. I'll take 2 damage, but this vampire's going to die anyway. And if I can hurt Seward, then that's amazing. Yeah, let's play claws. He might dodge. Oi, good stuff. Okay. Ah, I see what he's doing. He's going to try and kill me with a knife next turn. Oh, or maybe he's doing it to prevent the plotting. Because the plotting would kill him. Because I could do it in such a way to get 4 damage. But I don't have plotting, so I wasn't going to do it anyway. Now the question is he going to dodge? Or is he going to knife me? He surely must dodge in this situation. If I had strength, I would play strength, but I don't have it. So I'm just going to mesmerize him in case he plays the knife. But I've got Seward down really low. So now, even if he does take this vampire at night, he's going to take so long to heal. This is just safe play. If I had strength, I would totally play strength. Okay, he plays dodge. That's totally fine. I could absolutely see why he would play the punch there. I didn't even actually think about it, that he would play it to stop the plotting. Because plotting would kill him. I think. No, actually, no. No, it wouldn't have. So I should have fanged it that turn. That's fine. I've gone down to 1 health. Like, that's a really good result for a vampire. Yeah. Yeah, 6 that was a 6 HP. Maybe had an escape route. That's the thing. Normally when you fight a vampire, you're going to take 2 or 4 damage, but just sometimes it can go really badly and you take 6. So what I'm hoping will happen is they'll burn the stakes here, I'll put down a vampire in the UK and put a rumour token on it, and then there won't be a deal with it. Now, there is a big risk I get consecrated grounded, but we'll talk about that in a minute. I'm going to explain maybe why I'm going to just land in the UK anyway. Good thing is there's a aristocratic here that he has to deal with. It'd be really funny if he deals with all of this stuff and leaves the aristocratic alive. Now he's having to make decisions. What does Van Helsing do? Does Van Helsing try to deal with some of these encounters, or does Van Helsing leave? The problem is because Seward is so low health, Seward cannot safely walk into any other space. If he walks into the bodyguards, he's dead. There's a fog in Hamburg, but he doesn't know that. But at the same time, if Van Helsing commits over here, I'm just free to go to the UK and do whatever I want. Okay, so he's taking the middle option and supplying, which is not a bad choice. If you're ever unsure of what to do, supplying is not a bad choice, really. Okay, she's going to check that. That's great, but now she's going to be delayed, so there's somebody else who can't do anything. Oh, and she doesn't have a stake, I don't think, so then she'll become delayed. Okay, makes sense. The fact he's healing and not staking is very interesting. I thought he would stake this. But I can't think of what other items you'd have other than the stake. Surely you just stake this vampire just to make sure, right? I don't know. Let's have a look in the Discord pile. Oh, knife's been discarded. Oh, that's interesting. No stakes, though. I know he hasn't got through the whole item deck, but there's no stakes in the discard pile. Now, that means their combat strength is going to be weaker. They're going to kill my vampires, but I'll be able to hurt them more. So that actually works for me. That works really well for me. Oh, she has a stake. Okay, well that's a stake burn on an aristocratic. So honestly, I am totally happy with that. So I'm going to mark that in my book. 1 stake's been used. Okay, right. Now here's what I'm going to do. I know it sounds really weird, and again it's super choreographed. Look, hunters, here's where I am. I'm going to land in Edinburgh. Now the reason being, the only threat to me is consecrated ground. But I'm going to play the probability game here. They're not even a third of the way through the event deck. So the chance of them having consecrated ground is low. So I'd rather go to the UK now when consecrated ground has there's not a high probability of them having consecrated ground, rather than waiting until later. The other thing I can do is if I do get consecrated grounded when I land in Edinburgh, there's nothing really bad that's going to happen. I mean, yeah, I'm going to lose the trail, which is not great. And I'll lose... Well, no, the Edinburgh encounter will still exist. And I'll take some damage. What he might be waiting to do is wait for me to move to Manchester, because then he can just kill me outright. If he has all the heavenly hosts already, he can just kill me outright. I'll be able to tell if that's a possibility, because I'll just be sitting there supplying, trying to get the last heavenly host. Then what I could do to make sure I am completely safe from dying instantly from consecrated ground, because I don't know if unless you don't know, if you put yourself in certain locations like Prague or Granada or Manchester, using a consecrated ground and 3 heavenly hosts, you can block Dracula in, and Dracula has no legal move at all. And even once the whole trail is cleared, there is still no legal move. So basically, Dracula just dies instantly. He just takes 5 damage, can't move. Takes 5 damage, can't move. Takes 5 damage, can't move, and he's just dead. So what I might do is then is wolf form from Edinburgh to another port city. So then the risk of consecrated ground is really low. So I'm just going to go to Edinburgh now. I know there's a big fucking flag I'm flying, going, hunters, I'm over here, but sometimes that's the way the game has to be played. It's not about the hunters trying to work out where you are. Can the hunters get to you? If the answer is no, then you're safe. So I'm going to do this move, and I'm going to throw down a vampire. And then later, I'm not going to put the rumour token yet, because I don't want to put down a rumour token, then... Well, no, Consecrated Ground is fine, because the rumour token will still exist. Do I want to throw down a layer? Yes, I do. Let's throw down a... Wolves. And a Reckless. Good, I am just going to put vampires everywhere in the UK. And eventually they're going to have to deal with them, or start letting things go. Maybe. So I think he's realised he's caught onto the same thing as me. But if he uses Consecrated Ground, alright, it's not great for me, but it could be way worse. I'd rather have it out now than in the middle of the 4th week, or the 3rd week, or the 4th week, when I'm really trapped. Interesting. Okay, I'm not quite sure why there's a speedy telegraph. Might be made apparent later. This might be a bluff. He might not have Consecrated Ground. He might also just supply and get it today. I have to just... Sometimes with this game, you just have to work on the odds of probability. If you're a third of the way through the... Or not even a third of the way through the event deck, are you going to have Consecrated Ground? Maybe. But it's more likely that he doesn't. So I'm just going to have to work on that. If he has it, it is what it is. You can't have it all your own way, so you just have to sometimes just make gut assumptions, and sometimes you'll get them right, and sometimes you'll get them wrong. And that's okay. When I was playing against Mr. Green in one of the League of Dracula tournament matches from the autumn of 2022, I was in the exact same position, playing as Dracula, and eventually I was sort of around this part of the map. And I had to land, and I just had to think, is he going to have Consecrated Ground? I don't know. And he did, but... Okay, this looks like them. Is there going to be some trading shenanigans going on here? I think they might be trading a Heavenly Host around. But then why would they? Because like you don't need to trade around Heavenly Host to kill me. Well, not going to kill me with Consecrated Ground, but you just have to play the siege. You have to play the Oh, what he might do is play the Heavenly Host token here, and then another one in Edinburgh, and then put the Consecrated Ground, the permanent thing, somewhere else, which will annoy me more. I just have to hope that he doesn't have it, and he was just bluffing. I'm really shocked that he's not dealing with this vampire. Or he's going to stake it in the day now. Oh, he's just supply. Oh, I don't think he has it, you know. If he keeps supplying, he's buying. Even if he doesn't have it, I'm still going to wolf form to the ports. Because what I can do, I can go to a port, backtrack to Manchester, and then go back to another port. Oh, well, that's true. I could have been there. That is very true. I could have been in Germany. I could have done something really sneaking on Hamburg to Amsterdam, and then I wolf form out of Amsterdam. That would be a real shame if he missed that. It'd be foiled pretty quickly because someone's going to move to Amsterdam to go to the UK and they'll discover me. Or maybe not. Maybe they might move to Le Havre instead. But then they'd find me because I would have wolf formed to Le Havre, let's be honest. So I'm not going to misdirect anything here because there's no point. Oh, okay, right. He has it. Right. Okay, so I'm a bit. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I'm a bit pissed off about it. Because what are the fucking chances that he fucking has it? But oh well. I mean, you didn't have it. I had to go for it. All right, I got the choice wrong. Do I regret it? A little bit. But then if I wolf onto Manchester, I'd feel even worse if he then just blocks me in completely. So yeah, that's just, yeah. Hunter luck with the event deck, but oh well. He's now used his most powerful card in a situation which, yeah, you know, it hurts me, but I'm still, the vampire will still be over there. And I'll put a rumour token on it. Not that I expect it to mature, but to force them to go over there. Now I can go to North Sea, then North Atlantic. I've still got Wolf Form available. So I can go anywhere I want. I'm going to take 5 damage, and then I'm going to take 5, 7, 8. Ooh, I'm going to be on 5 health. Yeah, I mean, it's not good for the health perspective. I could even land I could land an island if I wanted to, and then go to Southern England. So it's not great. And I lose all that other stuff. But it was only a bodyguards and fog. What? Oh yeah, okay. See, I'm taking a lot of damage here, but I'm not dead, so not ideal. But oh shit, when you're at sea, you can't put down a rumor token. Ah, I should have put a I should put the rumor token on it already. Damn, that's poor play on my part. I should put down the rumor token anyway. When you're at sea, you can't put down rumor tokens, so that's a mistake. That's a clear mistake. So now he could also just actually let this mature because it's only 3 points, and he's now he can now go to Hamburg for free if he wants to. Yeah, that's a real shame. Real shame. I'll ask him after the game if he had all 3 heavenly hosts, if I would have died in Manchester or not. So I just wolf form into Spain, feed and muck around here for a bit. Good that I gained all these cards out. I could also go to English Channel. I could honestly, I might just go to English Channel and still go to the UK. Muck around there for a bit, hop across, try to get some feeding going on. I don't have any desecrated soils to get health back, sadly. He might also play Money Trail to find out his English Channel. The same thing, like, even if he knows where I am, like, yeah, he's played Consecrated Ground here, but I can still go 33, 52, 32. If they are moving across really quickly, I can go Irish Sea, North Atlantic. I am taking a lot of damage from sea, which is not ideal, but at least there's no Rufus Smith, so... That's, yeah, poor luck for him to avoid have Consecrated Ground. I should have known it. It's Mr. Greenwood talking about. To be fair, I'm sometimes a real jabby bastard with the cards, and I always get the ones I want early. So I mean, I shouldn't complain. No, the thing I normally do is when the second I need Hired Scouts, I get Hired Scouts. That's normally that's a very common thing that happens in my games. Okay. So this is going to be made very difficult. Oh, I don't need to click that. Yeah, I wish I put a rumor token on this. Because it would force them to go over to deal with it. The thing is, they're going to move over to deal with this, but then by the time they've got over, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, I can still, I'm going to be in southern England. They're going to have to do lots of checks in terms of... I might also be like really sneaky and like wolf form to like 43 and then work around this way. Because they're going to start panicking and going into Spain. I don't know. That's a little bit more instinctive. Sometimes games of Dracula can be really tough if the hunters just get all the good stuff. Now I understand why he was healing and not staking, because maybe he was holding on to Consecrate, but I don't know how you're supposed to know that. And maybe he had an idea. Oh, well, maybe he might just land in the UK. No, I'll definitely ask him after the game if he had all 3 Heavenly Hosts prepared to kill me in Manchester. The thing is, if he did that, even when he had 1 missing, I'd have had to go to Edinburgh, and then I would have been stuck. The only good thing about that is that the vampire in Leipzig might have matured, but maybe not. Let's go to English Channel. Now if I wolf form, that's another health I'm losing, which is really not great. I need to get like a desecrated soil and try and leave them around so I can get some healing. But they've got... I can't remember who played the Consecration. I can't remember now who had the Heavenly Host. I think it might have been Godalming. Don't remember. Do not remember. The thing is, they can get to Bordeaux in 1 day by rail, so I kind of do need to wolf form here. Because I could be anywhere. I mean, the thing is, a psychic scan of France would rule out a lot. Doesn't look like I'm going to win this one, folks. I'm against a very competent hunter player, so, you know. Games of Dracula are very difficult in this type of situation. Oh, you've got fast horses now. I see. I see. Ah, that's very clever. Anticipate I'm going to the UK already. Very clever. I might still actually just wolf form. I might honestly just wolf form to 43. Just to obfuscate. I think it might be that Van Helsing might be coming across here to deal with this vampire, but... if I can stall the clock by about a week, then I'm in a chance of winning. I've still got to move a lot of days in the 4th week, because I've got no points yet. Which is not ideal. Trading items around. Probably giving Godalming all the crap stuff, like the dogs. So then Sud can just get tooled up and off he goes. Okay, there are 2 stakes. So I won't put down a vampire now. Or do I? Maybe I do. But he might let this mature. I might put down the hoax into Plymouth. They're not going to jump on me this turn. And then I could like feed if Van Helsing comes over, and then I could maybe ambush him in London. That's also another option. So yeah, let's for a little bit of obfuscation. Let's wolf form into Plymouth. I could wolf form into Swansea if I want, but I want to work my way here. I don't want to go there immediately. So let's go to Plymouth. And let's throw down maybe the hoax. Or maybe I just put down the aristocratic. I can put down the hoax somewhere else, maybe. Tough choice. I'll put down the hooks. That might be the thing that might be able to turn the tide of the game. Right, let's see if this works out. This is not great. I've got a chance. So let's see how that works. So, wolf from here, I could be in the UK, I could be in France, I could be in South Atlantic. Oh, not South Atlantic, in Spain, in Santander. This way gets a hide scouts and then ruins my day by checking Santander. If you get a hide scouts, you just check that instantly. No, he doesn't. He's trying to discard stuff. Ooh. Right. Don't know about that one. That's fine. How's it going to move over today? Probably. Question is, do I feed this turn or do I wait? I might move to London to try to ambush Van Helsing. Oh, that's really good for me. Please roll slow. It doesn't even matter because she can join up with whoever. So they're going to psychic scan France. Right, I'm moving to London today then. I'm going to buy myself a lot of time. And then I can get to Swansea, and then feed, and then Liverpool, and then I can decide, do I go to Ireland, or do I leave by sea again? I'm going to put down a vampire in London, I'm going to put down a rumour token. I need to start forcing them to come over here. I have to start forcing them to make tough decisions. I assume a psychic scan's going to come out, so they're going to have to check Spain, but then they might have to check the UK too. It seems like he's not dealing with this vampire. I wish I put a rumour token on this when I first landed. That was very stupid. That was a definite mistake. When you're at sea, you can't put rumour token. Damn. I don't know why that is, actually. I don't know, like, thematically why that is. I see the reason why. But, you know, you can't just go to sea and then go, oh, I'll put a rumour token on it now. You're having to put yourself at risk by making a land move, and then you throw down a rumour token. So that makes sense, I think. There's an Engalia. What else has been discarded? Dogs, no real surprise. Still the knife that's been discarded, which is pretty good. Right, let's go down here, and I'll throw down the Reckless or the Aristocratic. No, I think the Aristocratic, and then I can put down the Reckless afterwards, because then they burn the stake on the Aristocratic and not on the Reckless. Oh, desecrated soil. Yes, right, so I'm going to go to Swansea, put down Reckless, and then Liverpool, put down Desecrated Feed, and then take it from there. Let's put down a rumour token now. My first rumour token. I've got them all banked up. We're now in third week. I can just throw down rumour tokens everywhere. And then they're going to be really stuck in hopefully what to do. Live in hope. So it looks like they're going to just let Edinburgh mature. So that works for me. I'm going to get 3 points for free. He's maybe thinking I'm in the UK. He's going to have to check Santander. It seems like there's no renewed vigor. So that works really well for me. I don't know why he keeps using... Well, it depends on where he goes here. He needs to go to Le Havre, surely. Or maybe he's just expecting me to be in Spain. It looks like he's just assuming I'm in Spain here. But the thing is, with Bordeaux, it's really good because he can head across. Ah, right, now he's going to find out I'm not in Santander. And then... that spells go time for him to move across. That's fine. Mina will take 3 moves to get there. And by that time, I will be in Liverpool and I would have fed. Maybe I put the Reckless Vampire into... maybe I put down the Desecrated Soul now. So then it's further up the it's on the trail earlier, so there's a better chance it's going to mature. he might start moving over to Ireland to prepare to block me. That's something else I've got to be a little bit careful of. In retrospect, if he had 2 Heavenly Hosts, this permanent token in Manchester is not actually good. Putting the permanent token in London would have been way worse for me. Well, yes and no. It would have stopped me from doing this, what I'm just doing. But then it means I could have gone round into Ireland and then left by Edinburgh again. I think putting the permanent token in London would have been better if he had another Heavenly Host. He's now got through the whole item deck. So now everything's going to shuffle. And now he's now, I think, the cogs are turning. Yeah, he's moving. So now I'm going to go to 52. I'll throw down Desecrated Soil. Feed. I'll definitely feed, and then move to Liverpool. And throw down a Reckless Vampire and put down a Rumour token. It also if one of these two have excellent weather. Nope. He's also probably not expecting me to be in London now. He probably expects me to be on the coast already. Shame about this hoax, but hoax or 3 points? I think right now I'd rather have the points. At least then to say that I didn't lose it with a whitewash. If only this had a Rumour token on it, this would have been so powerful. Because I could have had a Rumour token here and the Rumour token here as well. And then that spells trouble for the hunters. Because it's something like, oh crap, that's 13 points. Right, let's go to... Let's go to Swansea. I put down the Reckless. Yeah. Yeah. And yeah, I'm just going to Rumour token it. Just really try to force one of these two to mature. So he can't ignore it, because there's 3 from the new vampire. If one of these others mature, that's 7. All it takes is 1 move in the final week, and I'm done. He might have a vampire lair, which is something else I've got to be careful of, but again, I don't know what events he has, and it could have discarded vampire lair. There's not a lot of discarded cards here, though. But one of them could have been vampire lair. Okay, now they're moving. They might deal with these 2 vampires, but it's going to force them over here, and then I can escape. And also get my wolf form back. Not that I can really use it in this situation, but... I'll move to Liverpool and then heal. I don't know, do I put down the Desecrated Sword or put down something else? I might put down Desecrated Sword into Ireland, maybe. Yeah, I might throw down like the Spy, perhaps. I'm not sure. Not sure. Oh, now that's a problem. It means he can land tomorrow. Oh, damn. Are you going to go to Ireland or are you going to go to Irish Sea? Right. Okay then. I'm going to feed today. I don't want Sewer jumping on me with full health. That's terrible for me. Good job I put down the Reckless. Now, if Sewer hurts me a lot... yep. I might get boxed in. If I could kill Seward, that would be incredible. The issue is he could also just heroic leap me, and then... So then the other option is, do I maybe put down Fog? in the hopes that he doesn't have a forewarned, and then I could feed and then leave. That's also another thing I could do. I think maybe that might be a better idea. What's going to protect me more? The health or the... I mean, he could also have a heroic leap, but... The good thing is because Seward's at sea, he wouldn't be able to trade it to Van Helsing. So unless he traded it yesterday. But that's a lot of coordination. I don't know if he's going to be able to do that. I could also then wolf form to Plymouth again, because then English Channel's off the trail. And then go English Channel back onto the... there's a few things I could do here. Right, okay. Decisions. Decisions. Right, so, 2 options. Well, 3. I can feed. I could hide with a fog. Or some other type of card. I mean, I'm not going to do the discard soil, because I can't mature. I might put down the spy to hurt Seward. Or... I move to Liverpool. And I throw down fog. Or spy. Or discard soil. Seward can't wax cylinders. The only person who can get onto here is today is Seward. So feeding would be good, but then the combat would be guaranteed to happen if he lands on me. Do I then instead put down fog today, and then if Seward moves to Liverpool, I feed? I think I'm going to put down fog. I'm going to have to bank on the fact that Seward doesn't have forewarned. Again, he might have it. But at the same time, I can't really do much about it if he does. What's going to protect me more? A fog or 3 health? 3 health means the combat's definitely going to happen. I'm going to hide with fog. And if he uses wax cylinders to discover my location, oh well, big deal. Like, he'll probably work out by deduction where I am anyway. So let's hide. And I'll throw down the fog. I hope I can survive with this amount of health. Promote this to a layer. Absolutely not. I want the 3 health. The 3 points. And now I've got wolf form back. Not that I'm going to be able to use it right now. Again, I don't expect these to mature, but if I can drag them over, that's what I want. I made it to Wednesday of 3rd week. I mean, that's alright. That's an okay Draco performance. Especially given the start I had. Right, let's see where Seward goes. Is Seward going to go to 32 or is he going to go to 52? He's going to go into my space. So I'm going to ambush with the Reckless first to try and get some damage. So then if the fog gets cancelled, I would have done some damage to him, and it makes the fight a lot more risky for him. If I can get 2 damage down on him, would he heroic leap? I mean, probably, because then he'd still win the game. There is a possibility of a heroic leap, but I'm just having to hope he doesn't have it again. I'm having to bank on probability. I'd be pretty unlucky if he had both heroic leap and consecrated ground. I have all those cards, but again, I can't. I'm not in control of it, unfortunately. Van Helsing beyond the mainland means that Seward could just get traded something. Like a planned ambush, an escape route. I just have to hope this fog works. Oh, I haven't looked. How many combat cards? He's now got 2. Right, so I'm going to assume that one of them is a knife, and then there's something else. So the question is, do I fang him? I think I do. And then I could strength him next turn, or knife, or I could fang him next turn. Yeah, that's fine. At least to get a point. So my defeat is a little bit more respectable. Alright. Right, I might fang now, because I've got 2 fangs. I may as well fang again, if he's going to escape. I can't remember if Seward has to have any host or not. Yeah, let's fang him. I mean, if I'm mesmerized, I don't know what can I don't know how much benefit I'm going to get out of it. I kind of want this. Ugh. Yeah, let's fang him. He might punch me here thinking I'm going to mesmerize, because it's very likely I'm going to mesmerize. Okay, well, I've done 2 damage to him, and I've got a point, so it's not the worst thing in the world. Right, now it's the moment of truth. Does he have forewarned? Jammy Git will probably have it, but let's just see. Please? Please? Yes! He's delayed! He has no forewarned! Come on! Right, that's awesome. Now what do I do? Oof, let me think about this. I need to feed. I would love... I wish there was like 3 fog tokens so that I could move to Liverpool, feed, and then go. But I can't. And also by that time, Godalming will be here. He might stake the... Oh no, he can't stake the vampire while it's fog. That's right, that's right. So I'm going to have to feed tonight and then leave. And then where do I go? Oh, fucking hell. Really? Oh, jeez. I mean, there is also another option in all this. That I just try and kill Seward. If he gets rid of Aggie, I might just try and kill Seward. That's another option. That is an option. That's making the plan not as strong. Right, now I've got a tough choice. Normally I'd say yes to this. However, if I play this combat really well, I might be able to kill Seward. And he's delayed, which means he won't be able to heal at night, and I can attack him the next day. I don't know if I win by trying to escape. I don't know if I win. Yeah, I don't know if I win if I try to escape, because like I've only got 4 health. I need to feed today. Then I'm going to be on 3 health when I land. 2 if I wolf form. So I'm going to be running around. Now the only advantage is because that 3 of the hunters are over here. I might be able to wolf form to say 15 and make my way along here, and it's only Van Helsing. That's a very difficult choice. Now if he has heroic leap, he just kills me. But if I see a trade between Van Helsing and Seward, then I don't do the day combat. And he doesn't have heroic leap because it would have triggered on the vampire. I could also just die to Heavenly Host right now. You know what? I'm going to play a little bit bold, and I might lose this, but I think this might be the best option. Let's say no. No. Thinking. Right, so it's very likely he's got a Heavenly Host, but he also could have a knife. If he has a Heavenly Host, does he just play it right now? The other thing is, if I get down on 1 health, I won't be able to escape anyway. So I might be pinning myself into a corner here, but... honestly, it might be the best idea. Let's see. Oh, really? Is it saying records? Oh, oh no. Ah, because it's got 4 health. Haha. Yeah. Yeah. It's just like fighting a reckless vampire, Mr. Green. I think maybe now, I mean... I was having to make a really tough choice. maybe I should have just fed and left because I committed 3 hunters to the UK. I mean, Godalming hasn't fully committed yet. That's the thing. He's halfway to committing. So yeah, maybe I made the wrong choice. But if I kill Seward here, then it was a really good choice. And if I can not take too much damage, and he's having to really, really think about this turn, and I absolutely see why. It also depends. I'm at the mercy of the combat cards here. Now they're forcing me into the tough decisions. Do I play Claws? Do I think he's playing Heavenly Host, so I Fang? Do I Mesmerize, thinking it's a weapon? Do I play Strength, thinking it's a weapon? I don't think he'll play Heavenly Host first turn. I think he's going to play something else. He might also dodge, but I'll play a Strength. I might have lost this, and he has a Heavenly Host, but I don't think he's going to play Heavenly Host first. If he has, then very well played. LOL. Damn it. Ah! I can never get Heavenly Host combats right. Oh dear. Oh, well that was anticlimactic. Oh, I don't believe it. Quick question. Did you have 3 HH? Is this gonna, right? For killing me in Manchester. Let's see on camera if he has it. Well played, by the way. I reckoned running around on 2 HP wouldn't have worked either. Yeah, so again, wrong choice. There's a 50-50 on combat. So only procced 1. Ah! But still, could have forced me back to Edinburgh and lost the trail. So that doesn't matter. So in the end, it didn't make a difference. I might. I need a quick break. So yeah. Yeah. So okay. So not very successful that game. So I made poor choice fighting Seward, but then he hit into 50-50 in combat, which is not ideal. Yeah, not ideal, but then again, at the same time, if I played Fangs and he played a Knife, then that would have been really bad for me. What else? Let me turn this off for a second. In general, I don't think we played that poorly. It was just we took way too much health. Took too much damage from health. What would have happened if I didn't fight Seward there? I would have fed, so I would have got up to 7 health. I would have moved at least 2 sea spaces. So I would have been down to 3 health. I would have then wolf formed to try to escape Van Helsing. I might have still lost. Now maybe I picked the wrong play there, that maybe the odds of me beating Seward in combat are lower than me being able to sort of dance around Van Helsing and get away. I don't know. But still, I mean, it wasn't a great game, but 4 points. I would have really loved. I think now in retrospect, maybe I should have just left anyway, because it would have forced the hunters to make a decision about those reckless van. But at the same time, if I then managed to kill Seward in combat, I'd have been in an incredible position. So I think I made I made for the riskier play, but if it worked, it would have worked really, really well compared to me just running around on 2 health and dodging bullets every time I moved. So maybe not ideal. I normally prefer starting in extremities, not center, because I'm not so good at being able to pick the right spot to move to. But I think we made the right decision in terms of leaving when we did. The consecrated ground ruined our plan, because then they would have had to move to Hamburg eventually. They would have got caught in fog. I would have left lots of stuff in the UK for them to deal with. They still hadn't killed the vampire in Leipzig, so that Leipzig, so that would have had to be dealt with. So some good things from it, some bad things. But you can see how the cards that the hunters have can really change the game. but I just had to work on the assumption that they didn't have Consecrated Ground. But they did. But then imagine, if they didn't have the Consecrated Ground, they might have had other stuff, like Heroic Leap or Forewarned. Is what it is. So I got a little bit unlucky with him having Consecrated Ground, but at the same time, if he had Consecrated Ground, then he didn't have Renewed Vigor by the looks of it. So anyway, so it looks like I've got another game, so I'm going to go and play this other game. Hope you've enjoyed this. Feel free to leave your comments below how you think I played, if you notice anything that maybe I should have done differently. I think my choice of encounters were correct. It was just a shame that I ended up just having that second excellent weather too. I just needed one more turn just to buy myself that little bit of extra time on the Irish Sea coast, because I could have gone to Liverpool fed, and that would have been a much better situation to be in, rather than being forced, now do I play Fog or do I feed? Maybe now looking at it, maybe I should have, if I had had the idea of fighting Seward earlier, I think when I put the Fog down, now I realise when I put the Fog down, I should have just committed, right, I'm committing to the idea of feeding and leaving. If I had wanted to kill Seward, I should have put down the Spy, to either know what he had, or to again make him discard one of his weapons, and then fought him, and then however that worked out. And then if I had to move to Liverpool, put down Fog, feed in the Fog, and then leave, that would have been a little bit better. So that was a mistake. I kind of tried to do like two halves of two different strategies, and in the end they didn't work. I should have just committed to one. So that's maybe the lesson for today. Indecision could cost you. And that was a problem. And that's the thing with Dracula. You can play a lot of the game really well. I'm not saying I played spectacularly, but you can play a lot of the game really well. And it just takes one error, and if you get punished for it so severely, that's the game over. Whereas the Hunters, I think, have a little bit more comeback potential. Let's put it that way. So that was tough, but I had a lot of things set up. So if that fight with Seward hadn't gone so well, then it could have been curtains for the Hunters. But he did well. He killed me when he had to, and he played the right card. It was a kind of like a 50-50 thing in combat, and he played the right one. I just assumed that he wouldn't play Heavenly Host because the risk of me playing Fangs was too high, but I'm wrong. But that's okay. So it's obvious. My weakness of a player is I don't use Heavenly Host correctly, and I can never predict when the Hunters are going to Heavenly Host. Not very well, anyway. Anyhow, so I hope you've enjoyed this. I hope this has been useful. I'm going to try and get another couple of Dracula games on the go at some point and do these recordings. Hopefully they're useful for you newer players and maybe more experienced players. But if you're a more experienced Dracula player than me, feel free to leave a comment below with all your thoughts and things. Thank you for watching, everybody, and I'll see you in the next Fear of Dracula video or the next tutorial guide video very soon. Take care. Bye-bye.